Welcome to the first episode of a brand new season of Coffee Chats, a series of alternative perspectives. Now, for those of my house guests who've been with me for quite a while, you'll remember I did season 1 back in 2023, and a few of you had asked when I was going to do another one. This is it, guys. Now, this series is in a slightly different format where I'll be giving my commentary fully off camera because your interactivity, quite frankly, guys, is more important. Speaking of which, before we get into today's episode, let me know what your beverage of choice is. Drop it down in the comments. Coffee is not obligatory, just as long as you have something to sip. And get comfy while we watch this clip and I'll come back with my thoughts.
You are there, mate?
Stephen?
Yeah, mate.
Stephen, I've got. Listen, matey, you've caused me a big problem. You know that?
What, mate?
Well, did you hear the shouting and the screaming? There was me and my wife having a bust up.
Okay.
I tell you what's been going on. She's look, as you know, she's just come out of hospital.
Yeah.
And you delivered some flowers to the door.
Yeah, because she's came out of hospital, mate.
Yeah, I know that she's just come out of hospital. The problem is, matey, that I never ever buy flowers for my wife, and it's caused a rift between the two of us.
Okay.
She said, if the bloke from over the road can give me flowers when I come out of hospital, why the bloody can't you? So I'm really pissed off with you because you've come between me and my wife.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, but mate, I was just trying to be a good neighbour, mate, because she's
No. If you want to do that sort of thing, you run it through me first, right? You check with me to see if it's the right thing to do. I never buy my wife anything. No chocolates, no flowers, no nothing. I never take her out. We never go to a restaurant, nothing. And she's got bloody used to that. And what's going to happen now? She's come out of hospital and you've given her bloody flowers and we've had a bust up. And I put this all down to you. You keep your bloody flowers to yourself. You buy your girlfriend flowers if you want to. You leave my wife alone. Because...
Mate, your wife just got out of the hospital, mate, and I just got her some flowers. Like,
So what?
I just don't see what you're bothering me, mate. Oh, because you've got like a little domestic. I don't see how
it's got nothing to do with you.
I don't see
how I treat my...
Yeah, but mate, I don't see what's wrong here, mate.
How I treat my wife is my business, but you've come between us, right?
Yeah,
now she expects flowers.
She was in the hospital. She was in the hospital. Everyone in the neighborhood knew that like your wife was in the hospital, yeah? So then I got her some flowers. Just make sure that she's okay.
Started my... Listen, you have come between me and my wife. Right now she has expectations. When she was married to me, she's been married to me for 6 years. She's never had expectations of anything. And now she's got expectations having flowers. And
she was in the hospital. She was in the hospital.
Ruined it for me. That's
she was
what
in the
you've
hospital,
done.
Mate. She was in the hospital.
Keep your bloody flowers to yourself.
Yeah, but mate, your wife was in the hospital.
So I know she was in hospital. She was in hospital for 2 weeks, and I visited her one day, right? So I've done my bit.
Yeah, but she was there for 2 weeks. I'm like, mate, I just
so
got flowers. That's it, mate.
It's my business. How I run my marriage is up to me
fine.
entirely.
I didn't sleep with her, mate. I just got her flowers. I just got her flowers, mate. That's it.
Yeah, and you come between us. That's really. That's it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't intend to like come between you two.
She said to me, if a stranger, if a neighbour can come to the hospital and bring her flowers, why can't I do that? I've got no answer for that.
Why didn't you do that? Maybe.
I've been training her the last 6 years.
Maybe the problem is actually with you and it's not with me.
Right? No expectations at all.
Oh my goodness. Initially, when I saw this video, I thought it was a prank. I realized that it's not. You know, it could be. I still don't believe that it is a prank because this man was so angry. Angry! He said, "You've ruined it for me." Now, if we look at this more closely, I'm going to deduce that this probably isn't this man's first marriage, because of his advanced age, and he says he's been married to his wife for 6 years. And in those 6 years, he's been training her not to have any expectations. So in my mind, that means in his previous relationship, he wasn't able to do that. I mean, I could be wrong. These are just my thoughts. Okay, but this man does not look like a generous person. Maybe he's had some financial issues and he's trying to hang on to every penny, and sees showering his wife with flowers, gifts, taking her out. Maybe as far as he's concerned, they're frivolous activities. But could that be the reason why his previous relationship came to an end? This is just me speculating because I have no idea. I don't know. Now, the fact that this man actually said that his wife was in the hospital for 2 weeks and he only visited her 1 day. So out of 14 days, he only went to see her once. 1 day. This guy is extremely mean, in my humble opinion, because what else could he be? What is so pressing that you can't spend more than 1 day out of 14 with your wife who is in the hospital? And the neighbour shows her kindness and you've gone into orbit. What's that? As far as I'm concerned, Stephen, the neighbour, did nothing wrong. How's he meant to know what's going on in their marriage? That's none of his business. But now, the husband has marched over to the next door neighbour and made it crystal clear that his programme has been ruined. Because now, his wife has realised she's got the raw end of the deal in this marriage. What do we put this down to? There's so many factors. So many factors. One of them could arguably be partly due to radical feminism. And before you bite my head off, let me just explain. Now, in the society we live in today, women want to be equal to men. And men are saying, well, if you want to be equal, that's got to be all the way equal. Some women are no longer treated as feminine because some women don't want that. Some women, however, still do want to be viewed as feminine. With regard to this man's advanced years, maybe he's kind of come round to that way of thinking, well, I don't have to do this for my wife. I don't have to take her out. I don't have to spend money on her. Maybe he's adopted that modern attitude that some men have as a result of radical feminism. I don't know. But having said that, I'm younger than this husband. And in my relationships, I've always been treated well. I've been taken out, always taken out, flowers, chocolates, cards, surprise weekends away, that kind of thing. And it's not that I've ever demanded those things, but I've always had an expectation with the understanding that even if I'm not given those things, there are other ways in which I would, be pleased with my partner. And equally, I would reciprocate. It's a reciprocal partnership because I would take that person out. I would surprise that person. I would shower them with gifts. You know, it's a two-way street. This husband, I just don't know how she's put up with him. And I suspect that may be the reason, or part of the reason, why she ended up in hospital in the first place. Who knows? But can you imagine? Can you imagine living with him? And they've now had an argument because the next door neighbour bought her flowers. She's realised she's not getting the better part of this deal. And she deserves better. It'll be interesting to see what happened afterwards. But guys, I'm going to turn this over to you now, because this really is why I did this video, because I want to know what you guys think. Have you ever been in a situation where your partner has told you they're not going to do these things for you? Have you been trained like this husband did to his wife? I've trained her for 6 years not to have any expectations. Have you been in that position? I mean, how ridiculous. It's quite sad, really. It's quite sad, because how must that poor wife feel? And with Valentine's Day fast approaching, some of you may receive flowers and some of you may not. Some of you may never have had flowers on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is not something I particularly engage in, because as far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't just relegate one day to showing how much you love and appreciate someone. That should be displayed 365 days a year. So if you don't get your flowers or your chocolates on Friday, are you going to be upset? Are you at the stage in your relationship where if you don't receive these things that you're not going to put up with it any longer? Do you believe that you deserve better? And how do you feel, men, if you're watching this or listening to this? How do you feel? Give us your perspective. How do you view all of this? Do you think the husband was right? Do you think he was justified in being so angry with Stephen, his neighbour? Do you think he was being reasonable? Do you think he was being unreasonable? Guys, whatever you think, I would be so excited to see your views in the comments. And remember, I'm going to select 2 comments to be featured either on the community tab or in the next episode. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for meeting me for coffee. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we shall catch up again very soon.